Welcome back, everyone, to the ULTY Portfolio Update. This is the series where I talk about the stocks and the options that ULTY is putting on to get you those weekly distributions. What an incredible day it was. But before I begin, I just want to give everyone a huge thanks. If you're one of those returning viewers and you've been following the series, I do appreciate you guys watching and commenting, liking, and all the new subscribers. It's been great to see. If you guys keep watching, I'm going to keep making these videos. So let's get into today because wow, 23 stocks in this portfolio. 20 of them were up today. Some of them had huge moves. Only 3 were down. I don't think I've seen a 87% day. Granted, I haven't been tracking each stock for a while. I've only been doing it for a few weeks, but wow, 20 out of 23 is not bad at all, especially when you consider the overall market was only up 0.41%. ULTY itself up 1.13%, and on an ex-dividend date, after the shares dropped and adjusted for the dividend. I mean, yesterday we were trading at 550, it adjusts down to 543, and then ends the day at 547. So great to see. Rigetti Computing up 18%, Bullish 11%, SoundHound up 10%, Symbotic 9%, Rocket Lab 9%, NewScale 7%, Bitmine 7%, Coinbase 7%, couple of 5s in there. The only things that were down were Opendoor Technologies, of course, Lucid Group, which they just bought, and Rocket Companies down 6.23%. But let's start with the winners here. Rigetti Computing, no new news. The only news from this week was that they had 2 orders for their quantum computing systems for $5.7 million, 2 different firms for the Novera. And this is, I guess, what a quantum computer looks like, this thing right here. And the companies ordered 2 of them. And these things, I looked, and I think it says they go for about $900,000. Yeah, starting at $900K. And I think it's kind of like a luxury car where the base is $900K and then they upsell you on all the options and bits and bobs that will make it suited for your personal needs. So that came out on September 30th, and I think there's just some jubilation over that, I guess. Remember that Rigetti Computing only made $1.8 million in Q2, took a $39 million loss in Q2. So to get an order for $5.7 million is pretty significant for them. They are an $11 billion company, so relative to their size, not that much, but it's trending in the right direction. Bullish, I think this was just a reaction to yesterday's news because Bullish was down 4% yesterday, but today they're up 11% on no news. The news was came out October 1st that Bullish was going to be available in 20 states. They got their license, so companies in 20 different states can use Bullish, one of the biggest crypto exchanges out there. Speaking of crypto exchanges, Coinbase up 7.4%. Strategy was up. Where's Strategy on here? Strategy was up today, wasn't it? Yeah, up 4%. And the other important crypto one, Bitmine, up 7.9%. And I think, yeah, those are the crypto ones. I'm blanking there. But that's because Bitcoin was at 120,000 today. A lot of optimism around Bitcoin there. Again, I think a lot of this is fueled by the Fed rate change or the Fed rate cut. The markets could be expecting more. So a lot of these high-flying stocks are going up. SoundHound was up because their AI voice thing that they make got an award. Where was it? The AI voice thing is called Amelia 7, and it got an award from IDC MarketScape for Worldwide General Purpose Conversational AI Platforms 2025 Vendor Assessment. So some industry expert, very niche, basically said, what SoundHound makes is the greatest, at least in 2025. SoundHound's Amelia customers report strong satisfaction with the quality of Amelia's voice AI, including AI-generated voice responses. I really dislike AI-generated voice responses, or, those things when you go and try to call Xfinity and cancel your service, you get that automated menu. So if this is improving that, then cool, I'm happy about that. Symbotic, no real news on there. Still just kind of up, I guess. A lot of these things were just up on the day. There wasn't that much news. Hims appointed a new COO, someone who had already worked at the company. Where is that tweet? Yeah, this is a tweet from the CEO saying that the previous chief operating officer is stepping into a new advisory role, even though he just took over. This is the previous COO. See May 5th. He entered that role on May 5th, and now he's leaving, which is kind of interesting. And Mike Chi, someone who was in product marketing and commercial, is going to be their new COO. What else did I want to cover today? So ULTY did buy more Upstart. I had thought they were going to be selling Upstart because they sold about $88 million of Upstart on Monday. And then today, on Thursday, they bought $40 million worth of Upstart. So I'm not quite sure what's going on there. They did place some more options trades, which is interesting. The stock gains for today were 187 million, and the stock losses were only 10 million. So net $177 million in just stock gains. That's an incredible performance from today. I wonder if we're going to see a $200 million day. It's definitely possible, but we just blew it out of the water today with those 20 winners and only 3 losers. And the losers were only small positions like Lucid and Opendoor. Rocket Companies was a little bit larger. I'm not sure what happened with Rocket Companies. Let me check. Oh, they've acquired Mr. Cooper. That's interesting. So sometimes after a company does an acquisition, the stock will decline for a bit because it sometimes costs them money, or maybe the way they financed it isn't how investors expected. So that's what's going on with Rocket Companies, it looks like. Oh, no, they've also issued some common stock here. So there may be some dilution if they're issuing some of their stock to basically sweeten the deal for Mr. Cooper, the mortgage holder. They could be diluting some of their shares. So maybe that's why they're down. Not 100% sure, but possible. Doesn't look like anything fundamental wrong with Rocket Companies right now, especially if they're acquiring. So I do like that ULTY has this company in their portfolio. It is in a different industry from a lot of their other ones, like the crypto or fintech. So good to see it there. And lastly, the news on the day was that CoreWeave, they basically borrowed another $3 billion. They had this loan or credit agreement, basically a loan with US Bank. And it says here, added an incremental $3 billion for the loan, which I think is going to be due next year. Yeah, March 2026. So they're using that to expand. Remember, CoreWeave basically buys AI hardware, turns it into a software on the cloud, and then leases that out to companies like Meta and Facebook. And leases that out to companies like Facebook, which they just did a $14 billion deal with. So that's what's going on in the ULTY portfolio, guys. Oh, Opendoor. Wanted to talk about Opendoor. They placed 2 new trades in Opendoor. One was selling a covered call at $8.50. The price is currently $8. And closing out a covered call for $480,000. They basically get a $480,000 credit on today, and it looks like the position will be in a loss, but next week they'll probably sell some more calls to try to bring in some more option premium and let the stock appreciate. That's it for today, guys. Thanks so much for watching. See you in the next video.